Hey guys, it's Bart again. Welcome back to the channel. So we just got back from our first off-road adventure. So hopefully you had a chance to check out that video. In this video, I just want to give you a little bit of update as to how we made out in terms of the Jeep, what scrapes we got on the Jeep. I think overall the Jeep did amazing. Considering there's no lift and it's just running 33-inch tires, that trail was probably, it was a newbie-friendly trail, but it was had some parts that were probably more of an intermediate type trail. So we definitely got some scrapes. Just gonna always show you quickly a couple of things that we banged up on the Jeep. All right, so we did get hung up once on a rock where we actually had to be pulled off because we got high centered. So you can see that right underneath the Jeep here on the fuel tank side here, passenger side, we did make a pretty nice dent on our skid, and also on the other side on the transfer case skid we had a couple of dings and scrapes as well. Overall, everywhere else I think the Jeep did really well. We managed to avoid doing any damage or suffering any major scrapes. So in addition to the skid plate here, we did have a couple tiny little things here at the back. You can see that the tailpipe took a ding, and also at the back the control arms took a couple hits as well. On the other side, other than the transfer case skid, we just got a little rock rash. We escaped relatively unscathed, so no issues there. The rocker guards did their job as well. We didn't really have any major issues. Did get a little bit of a trail pinstriping as well on the side here where we came too close to some bushes. So, that's part of the game, I guess. We'll see if that comes out or not, but that's not the end of the world. Alright, so today what we're going to do is address some of those weak points, or where we got some scrapes in the Jeep. Of course, my driving needs to improve quite a lot. I found the manual to be a little bit challenging on the trail, but that's just a case of practice. If you drive a manual, you probably know what I mean. Off-road is a lot different than on-road. So today what we're going to do is try to address some of those points where we scuffed up the bottom of the Jeep. So we'll do something easy today. So what we're installing is the Rockhard 4x4 rear and front lower control arm skid plates. So that'll be a quick bolt-on. These are strictly bolt-on. There's no welding involved. Until we get a lift and some even bigger tires, hopefully these skids will help us to avoid some trail rash on the underbody of the Jeep going forward. Alright, so once we got these guys out of the box, here's what comes in there. So you can see that this is pretty beefy stuff. This is a 1/4-inch steel, I would say, so it's got some significant heft to it. I got some painter's tape stuck to it. So there's the rear, and just a simple one is the front, but again, a really beefy design. So looks like it's gonna take some hits if need be. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but if I were to scrape on something, I think these guys will go a long way to provide some additional protection. So let's get them on. Alright, so we're underneath the Jeep here on the driver's side front. So I've got the just a jack stand just underneath the control arm for when I remove the bolt. I don't think it'll go anywhere, but just in case, just to keep it in place, so I don't have to fight with it putting it back on or back in. There's the skid. So I've got my supplied longer bolt. I've got a washer on the outside. I've got these washers here that come with the kit as well, and I think that's just to make the skid plate fit in this groove here. The instructions aren't super clear on that, but I assume that's the intent. So they're on the inside. I got 2 of them, and then we've got another washer and a locking nut that also comes with the kit. So that's how we're going to put it on. Alright, we're going to make sure that this tab catches on as well. So rock hard instructions say to slide this down from the front and like so. So let's see what happens. Some power tools would probably be nice in here, but it's pretty tight, so I don't have any power tools that will get in here. Okay, and there's the, let's see if this will actually come out. There we go. I think it's coming out. Come on, baby. Come to Papa. There we go. Whew, she's out. All right. Let's put this guy on. I'm just going to test fit this first. Might need a little mallet here. It's pretty tight. Alright, let's give this a shot. See if this... So I got the washer on here. We need to dial this guy in. Okay, there we go. Now, this is going to be a bit of a challenge. That's definitely caught. Sweet success. Whew. Alright. We need a washer. Locking nut. Tighten nut and bolt to 130 foot-pound. Okay, let's see here. So I don't know if I have a 7/8 socket. Ooh. Alright guys, so there we go. So the one skid's pretty much on. So the trouble I ran into here is that really a rookie mistake, but I didn't check that I had the right sockets for the torque wrench. So the new supplied bolts and nut require a 22mm bolt, or rather a socket, pardon me. And yeah, I don't have those. So for now I'm just gonna use my crescent wrench there and a box wrench that I have just to secure it by hand, and I'll have to go to the store and pick up a socket, 22mm, so I can tighten this right to the proper torque spec. But yeah, don't do that. Definitely make sure you have the tools before you start. Alright guys, so we're under the Jeep on the driver's side, rear. So we're just getting ready to break the bolt on the lower control arm mount there. And so that's a 21mm. And we're going to replace that with a 22mm bolt and nut. So I'm going to make sure that you have both sockets. I only had the 21, had to go to the store and get the 22. Anyway, and there's the skid. So these are specific to driver and passenger side, because they do have this sort of extra little piece here which is supposed to steer you clear of the shock mount here. So they are specific. The front, you could use either one on either side, but the rears are specific to driver and passenger. Anyway, with that said, let's get cracking. Let's break this loose and put this bad boy on. This guy here. Oh, beauty. Look at that. So sweet. Let's grab the bolt. Okay, so we're just going to hold this in place just so I can feel my fingers. The bolt lines up the hole on the other side. And just give it a tap. There we go. It's going through. And let's see here, another washer here somewhere. There we go. Beauty. And they give you a nice little nylon locking nut. I'll just thread that on here. All right, there we go. So the backs are installed. There's the driver's side, and then we've got the passenger side over there. So it's good to go, and we got the front done as well. Alrighty, so it's all done. A little tired, a little dirty, but it wasn't too bad actually. So both the rear and the front lower control arm skids are in place from Rock Hard 4x4. And next time we go off-road, it's just one less thing to be concerned about in terms of scraping on the bottom of the Jeep until we get a lift. Alright, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.